I was looking at it. I was like, yo, if people's doors looked like that, they would just look like they were in like ragtag shacks that were just like flat wood, just boring. I guess that does give your eyes something to look at. Like, that's pretty cool, I guess. I'm looking at mine back there. Can y'all see that? Oops. What's up, guys? And today we're going to be watching another video. Okay. The amazing invisible detail. Now, I know you guys didn't see the thumbnail, so you don't know what he's talking about. And I really fully don't know what he's talking about, but let's find out. It's about neighborhoods and garages from what the thumbnail would seem. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into this. What's so amazing about this?
If I walk around my neighborhood, I see the same shape
Right?
repeated over and over again. It's mostly on doors, front doors and screen doors, but also shutters
little
and little
shape.
architectural details. And garage doors. So many garage doors. It's even in my shop. I go through this door 20 times a day, and I never think about this shape right here. It's so common that you might never have noticed it. But it's the same thing every time. A square or rectangle with beveled edges and a sharply defined center section. And the whole thing is captured inside a frame. It's called a raised panel, and it's not decorative, or at least
is it for sound acoustics?
The raised panel solves one of the biggest problems in construction.
Is it for acoustics?
Wood movement. Wood is always changing shape. It absorbs moisture out of humid air and expands, and when the air dries out, wood loses water and shrinks. Even wood that's been painted or sealed still does this. It's always expanding and contracting. And the shrinking and swelling is bad enough, but wood also warps. It can bow along its length, it can crown across its width, or it can twist, so the ends aren't parallel anymore. And if you're trying to build something out of wood, this is all pretty inconvenient. One of the earliest ways of solving this problem was just nailing stuff together, like on this nailed chest. Nails can flex,
I think it's
so
old,
they
though.
allow wood to shrink and swell, but nailing boards together keeps them from bowing or twisting. This chest is over 400 years old and still square and solid, but I bet you can see the problem.
I mean, the
It's
lid.
that lid. Centuries of shrinking and swelling
lid
have
is not.
warped it horribly. It doesn't even close anymore. It's
That's
the
crazy.
same problem with doors.
So it doesn't even do
You
its
can't
job.
just have
But it's
a
after
plank of
400,
wood
so-
floating in midair.
Oops.
It's going to move and warp and
That's right, my reminder to get ready to upload for today. Oops. There we go. Alright, yeah. Looks like we're back to uploading at 2 o'clock.
stop working. If only there were a way to put a frame around that door or lid to hold it flat. Well, early woodworkers were pretty smart, and they started doing exactly that. Take the piece of wood for a door, shrink it a little bit, and then put it in a frame. But, and here's the real killer innovation, the frame is connected at the corners with joints and glue, but this center section, which we call the panel, isn't attached to the frame in any way. No nails,
so it can expand?
no glue. Instead, there's a groove around the inside of the frame, and the panel sits a little loose in the groove. So when it gets humid and that panel expands,
it expands
there's room,
to fill the groove.
But the frame also holds the panel flat,
And it
so
holds
can't
it down.
bow or twist. Once you get
That's
the concept
cool.
down, it's pretty easy to see this as the door or lid for any piece of furniture.
I've
or
never
even
seen
the
that.
door to your house.
And again, I don't know
But
anything about
then
construction
you might
and
look
stuff
at it
like
and
that.
think,
Well,
wait a second.
not that I don't
Why
know
not
anything,
just make
but
a whole piece of furniture just from
been
this
really interested in
construction?
that lately. It's pretty cool.
Historically, nails were expensive, so if you get rid of the nails and make the whole thing from panels in a frame, you'd save money. It also looks cool. Imagine a chest as a set of boards. Now, shrink the boards and make them into panels and put a frame around each one. Compared to a box that's just nailed together, this is much more elegant. If you're making furniture professionally, you can charge more money for this because rich people will want it. Early frame and panel stuff just had a flat panel with no decorative edge because that's easy to make. And the flat panel is also a classic look. But you also want to use a pretty thick panel because that's more durable. You've just got to thin down that edge, just enough so you can jam it into that frame. You might think woodworkers would make a neat little shelf on that edge. We call this a rabbet, and it would fit that groove perfectly. But time is money, and that's actually too much work. The easiest way to do it was just hack a bevel into that edge with an axe or a hand plane. It doesn't matter if that edge has a slope as long as it's thin enough to fit into the groove. So early furniture makers would just take whatever tool and blast away enough material to get the fit. This was rough work, and no one thought about making those bevels look good. Remember that chest we just looked at? Check out the inside of the lid. Look at those sloppy, uneven edges. This was normal for a long time, from the Middle Ages up through the Jacobean period. Oh, and I'm thinking about turning this video into a whole series called The Secret History of Wood. If you'd like to see more videos about like who invented dovetails or
I might go through some of those.
Come from, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Now this rough panel with a flat face was the standard.
I might go through some of those. We might go ahead and take a look at those. Those are pretty interesting.
Those bevels even and smooth with nice crisp corners. And that woodworker thought, hey, we should flip that panel around and show those details off. Introducing the raised panel. It's exactly like the flat panel, but flipped around to show off those smooth, even bevels. It adds a ton of visual interest with roughly the same amount.
So I'm wondering now, do the raised panels actually provide the function of letting the wood keep its shape while it contracts and expands? Because it like gives it room to expand and contract because it's like contoured in that little space. I wonder.
This type of panel became especially popular in England in the 1660s when Dutch influence made furniture much fancier and more stylish. But there's one more step in the evolution of this style. Here, the border between the bevels and the center of the panel is kind of fuzzy and indistinct. The last thing is to add a sharp edge all around the inside of the panel. Now, that inside section is called the field, and the whole thing is called a raised and fielded panel. And this classic look is everywhere in Western culture. It isn't just on furniture and doors. You can find entire rooms built from raised and fielded panels. And all of this made perfect sense when we were still building everything out of solid wood, and wood movement was a constant problem. But what about my shop door? I mean, it's not made out of wood, not even close. Why does it still look like an antique wooden door from an 18th century house?
Did they just like the design?
Well, most of it is just looks. I mean, you can buy a plain flat door, but it's really boring.
It is kind of visually boring, I'm not gonna lie, because I pictured it when he was talking about it earlier with the bent wood on that chest. I was looking at it, I was like, yo, if people's doors looked like that, they would just look like they were in like ragtag shacks that were just like flat wood, just boring. I guess that does give your eyes something to look at. Like, that's pretty cool, I guess. I'm looking at mine back there. Can y'all see that? Yeah. See, mine's like that too, yeah. This one's got even more detail, I feel like. It's got like multiple divots. Cool. Ooh.
Mold in some of these frame
what happened?
Panel details, the whole door looks a lot more classy and elegant, not like a cheap fiberglass door, which is what it actually is. These details just give a subtle feeling of class and dignity to something that would otherwise be very bland and boring. But there's another super important reason that the frame and panel style keeps hanging around. Light. Early furniture builders were masters of light and shadow. They understood how light falling across certain details could create
so that
dramatic
doesn't reflect
effects. Look at this single panel
so that it does reflect it.
It's a classic raised and fielded panel, and we've seen it a million times. But look at how the morning light separates the shape into distinct sections and creates shades of color. The whole thing is white, but that slanting light creates a brilliant white A softer and more cream-colored white, a subtle gray, and a dark gray that's almost black. The raised panel shape interacts with natural light to make a whole palette of colors. It gives huge visual interest to something.
Also, it doesn't turn into that one. It doesn't turn into that one hotel that fries people, because it's just flat mirror glass, like on the building in one of the hottest places in the world. Interesting.
That could just be a boring flat surface. I think most people.
Yeah, I feel like it would be annoying.
Their entire
Honestly, if it was really sunny and everybody's like house who had like the white doors or the painting or everything, it was just like straight white, no contour or anything. If the light caught it and like started hitting it at angles, just reflecting off of everything, and it was just really bright, I could see that being annoying, especially when people are trying to drive.
lives without ever noticing
Why is he
raised
doing that?
panels, even though they're all around us. But what's cool about this detail is once you
There we
see
go.
it, you can't
I don't know
unsee
why
it.
it does
And
that.
now I bet you'll look around your home and your neighborhood and see
I already
raised
did.
panels everywhere. It's actually cool once you learn how to look for them. And if you're new to this
Hmm.
channel, we mostly teach accessible, low-cost hand tool woodworking. So when we come back, our next video is going to be a
That's cool. I've always
complete
found
tutorial
woodworking
on
interesting.
how to make raised panels in
Like, you know, those little like boxes, those little puzzle boxes. I've always find those like so cool. Like there's like in Japanese artistry where they like have all these like intricate. It's like the same like level of detail that goes into like watch making, but into like these like little wooden constructs. It's such a cool thing. If you haven't seen it, I may pull it up. Hold on, let me see. What's it called? It's like, was it like an Izumi puzzle box or something like that? Let me see. I have it saved in my notes somewhere, but let me pull this up first. Kage. Is it like Kagen? I think it was Kagen Sound. Kagen Sound puzzle box. That's so crazy that I remember that, because I haven't looked at that note in years. Yeah, stuff like that. It's so dope. Hold on, let's look at it. Oop. Yeah, like stuff like this. It's like, it's got a little puzzle in it. That one has like a little puzzle in it. Oh, is that the only thing? Where's another one? There's like this one. I have one. I remember my cousin had told her about it. She got me one for my birthday one year. Or was it for Christmas? I think it was for my birthday. But I still have it. I like keep stuff in it. It's dope. Yeah, like stuff like that. It's so cool, bro. Like a Rubik's Cube, but just like the artistry and the aesthetic of it. Peak.
frames with basic low-cost tools, mostly a jack plane and a rabbet plane, but
Is it
not
over?
a jackrabbit plane, which is an actual tool. Gee, that got kind of
Excuse
weird.
me.
Anyway,
Is
you
that
might want
it?
to see more
That's the video?
videos in the secret history
this all
of
promo?
wood. We're thinking about turning this
I think this is a promo. Hey, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and check out some of those. Actually, that might be what we get into today. Maybe we'll watch some more today after this. But yeah, let me know what y'all thought. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. You guys like woodworking? You do that kind of stuff? Let me know. And if you know anybody who makes cool puzzle boxes, also let me know down in the comments. But that's gonna be it. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll catch y'all later. Have fun. Bye.